Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Virtual Encounters. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. This time we have former India cricketer Mr. Anshuman Gaikwad, who was a gutsy batsman, also called the Great Wall, and the biggest example of how someone can give back to cricket. He has been a player, coach, selector, administrator. Welcome, sir. Welcome to DD News and DD India. First of all, how have you been doing and how are you dealing with these tough situations?
Well, Abhishek, thanks for having me, first of all. But, well, it's tough time for everyone,
Yeah.
not only me, but
Yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah.
And especially, I can imagine what the sports people must be going through. You know, they are quarantined, they are in bubble, can't practice, can't do any fitness. Especially, going on the ground and running about and doing training. But I hope this ends soon.
Yeah.
And
But sir, thank God. I mean, I asked this question from everyone. Thank God the cricket is back, not in India, but in other countries. Yes. At least we are getting to witness some action.
yeah, difficult times. I think there's something to look forward to, especially for people who are in India. I would say who are so keen on cricket. Cricket is almost like a religion in India, and they have some entertainment like IPL or any other cricket that they can sit back and watch and not roam around, wander around, and create problems.
Yeah. And also, sir, like you mentioned, difficult for the players also. They have to go through the mandatory quarantine and then the bio bubble. Strictly, they have to be at certain place. Restricted people they can meet. Not easy for the players also.
Absolutely, that's what I said.
Hmm.
You know, any sport for that matter is not played indoors except
Yeah.
chess or anything
Yeah.
or the cards or something like that. But all the sports are played outdoors, and outdoors is very essential because you get to know the conditions, you get to know your own fitness levels, and you get used to the conditions.
Yeah.
Here, there is, because the bubble or whatever you call,
Hmm.
there's hardly anything that they can do. They can't move out of their room, can't move out of their hotel,
Yeah.
and it's very, very tough. Meaning, for one to go and perform to the best of their ability, this is a tough time.
Hmm. Mentally, players need to be very, very tough during these times. But sir, if we go a little bit back, super performance in Test cricket by India in Australia, going there and beating them, coming back from what we all know, 30 all out, and then again doing superbly well in the last match, and then again against England, especially the contribution of the youngsters, you think was brilliant. And because of the youngsters, you think we managed to beat Australia and then Australia, and then here, the way we defeated England.
Abhishek, I'll tell you, the luckiest captain or the luckiest coach Indian team ever had is Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli. They have such a good bunch of cricketers,
Yeah.
be it batsmen, be it bowlers, be it all-rounders, be it wicket keepers, and they have so much of choice. Like
Mm.
you rightly said, what happened in Australia?
Yeah.
Virat Kohli had to come back. A lot of senior players, experienced players, bowler, batsmen got injured. They were on the injured list. And here are the youngsters who had gone to Australia to bowl in the nets. Ultimately played the test match under Ajinkya Rahane. And
Mm.
they beat Australia.
Yeah.
And that was a huge, huge success.
Mm.
Great victory, I suppose. Now,
Yeah.
this is what it shows that what bench strength Indian cricket has.
Yeah.
And thanks to, I would say thanks to BCCI, thanks to NCA, thanks to Rahul Dravid,
Mm.
who has been following it up and continuously, giving young talented players to the Indian bunch of cricketers.
Mm. Right, sir. Talking about you personally now, you were a courageous player. Though I was very small, but when I was watching your videos, such a courageous cricketer you were. The Great Wall you were named. Uh, Happy with your career when you look back?
Yes, I am. I am. I'm very happy with what I've done,
Hmm.
whether on the field, off the field, and I'm quite proud of it. And when you talk about courage, Abhishek, I mean, I had no choice.
Yeah.
But you had to face those circumstances
Hmm.
on the field, off the field. And then if you want to survive and be successful,
Mm.
well, you have to accept the conditions and fight. And that's when the courage comes out, the determination comes out, the patience comes out,
Yeah.
you know, your technique comes out, everything together comes out, and that's where you sustain yourself in international cricket.
Hmm. But sir, what
Like
were the?
we
Hmm.
didn't have helmets, we didn't have thigh pads, we didn't have
Yeah,
chest
that was
guards, no arm guards. So,
no helmets.
yep. So, keeping these things in mind, and then don't forget the wickets are uncovered,
Yeah. Yeah.
unlike today. So, today, if you look at it, there's a lot of safety. I mean, equipment
Hmm.
wise, wicket wise, pitch wise, bowling wise, was used to bowl 3-4 bounces in an over. There was no
Hmm.
restriction. Now
Hmm.
you bowl one bouncer and that's it. The
Yeah.
quota has been told. That's
Yeah.
it. The
Yeah.
quota is over. So,
Hmm.
a lot of things have changed over a period of time.
Hmm.
And looking at it, I think it's for better.
Hmm. So you said no helmets. The cricketing gears that you used to wear were not of a very good quality. But facing Andy Roberts, Joel Gardner, Malcolm Marshall, the list is endless. But who can forget that 1976 test at Sabina Park? You want to share that incident when you were hit on your ear and you were in ICU for 48 hours?
Why do you want to remind me? I don't want to be reminded. I'm scared now.
Yeah.
If I think
Hmm.
of it, how I
Hmm.
did it,
Hmm.
it is scary. Without the helmet and that pace and that many bowlers coming
Yeah.
after you, one after the other. Well, again, like I said earlier, you had no choice. You had to
Hmm.
face them. And unless you have your guts, you have determination and will to fight, it doesn't happen.
Hmm.
And that's what exactly happened in Sabina Park.
Yeah.
West Indies having lost the third test match, having declared,
Hmm.
India chased Iran successfully. Clive Lloyd's captainship was in trouble.
Hmm.
He was to be replaced. However, he retained. Then we went to Jamaica, Sabina Park. Clive wins the toss and puts India into bat. Me and Sunil,
Yeah.
we went on batting. They couldn't get us out. And then they resorted to, short ball theory, bowling over the wicket, bowling round the wicket, bowling beamers, bounces, everything they tried, but they couldn't succeed. So
Hmm.
ultimately, I thought, like must have said, if you can't get them out, hit them out. And
Yeah.
that's what exactly happened.
Hmm.
Sunil was lucky, he missed one ball which passed his nose without he realizing, without his reaction. Had that hit him, I know, God alone knows what would have happened.
Hmm.
And same thing happened with me. I had got hit the previous day quite a few times, lots of bruises, I had broken ribs, I had my fingers cracked, and my entire body was paining. And the next day, I was determined to do well, and we started off well. And batted for 2 hours. That's a long time to stay on the wicket in the morning. The wicket is fresh, the bowlers are fresh, and they are quick. And just an over before the lunch, that's when I got hit on my chest
Hmm.
first, and then second on my hand. Even then, I was okay. When it was paining, I said, "What else could happen?
Yeah.
At the most, I will die," and I was ready for it. And
Hmm.
I got hit on the finger, and it didn't. I mean, it was paining. Everything was pain. The entire body. Any movement would create a lot of pain. But I took stance, got ready. Suddenly, I saw blood trickling on through my gloves onto my pants. So I moved out, and
Hmm.
I said, "Let me check." And I see Webb Richards and Derek Murray running into me and saying, "Are you son all right? Are you son?" I said, "Get lost. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to even see your face." Because I was in pain. I was in pain. Nothing
Hmm.
worse could happen.
Yeah.
Only thing what could happen, which ultimately happened to me. And then I looked at Michael Holding,
Hmm.
and he was waiting for me to, take my stance. So I had gestured him something which I shouldn't have, which nobody should do.
Hmm.
But that heat of the moment, I did it, and I got the treatment. The ball which hit my ear, left ear, the specs went flying, and
Oh.
I didn't know what was happening. I mean, I just stood, and my head was reeling, there was bells ringing, everything was happening. And I sat down, but only thing I remembered was Nari contractor had got hit from Charlie Griffith in West Indies, and he became unconscious.
Oh,
So I made sure that I'm not going to close my eyes. Doesn't matter what happens.
yeah.
And by then the bleeding was all on my shirt, everything was bleeding profusely. So I sat down quietly, and then I see Clive coming and pushing me. And he made me lie down. But I still kept my eyes open. Everything was in disarray. I don't know what was happening. Everything was going wrong. The sky was going round. I don't know what was happening to me. And that was it. And I was taken back into the dressing room. And that also I told the guys who came to take me. I said, don't pick me up. Let me walk. Just support me. Give me support. So they gave me support. I walked. But ultimately, dressing room, as usual, there were benches. There were not even chairs in the dressing room to sit. So I was asked to lie down on a bench, and the bleeding was on, the pain started profusely, and we see no doctor for half an hour. And suddenly one guy comes and he wants to look at me. Luckily, we had an Indian doctor, Vishwanath friend, who was also there witnessing the match. So he came rushing. And the best part is, both the doctors, instead of looking at me, started arguing. One is saying it's bleeding from inside the ear. The other is saying, no, if the cut is outside, it's bleeding from there. And he can go and back. But I think it was polyumbrical. He was there when contractor was hit. So he was scared. He said, nothing doing, let's send him to the hospital. And then I was taken to the hospital. By then, Rishi had already gone to the hospital. Because he broke his finger. So I was the second one. And then was followed by Brijesh Patel, the third one.
Yeah.
So, it was challenging time, difficult time, but to will to fight. The more I got hit, the more determined I got. I say, hell with it. At the most now, I've been hit all over. I have a broken leg, broken fingers, everything is broken. So I said, I'm ready to die, but I will not give up. And that was my attitude. And that's how I succeeded.
Salute to you, sir. And the way you have narrated it, I mean, it was actually giving me goosebumps. And you faced everything. You were no less than warriors facing all the bullets. But hats off to you, sir. But sir, from the painful memories to the wonderful memories, fond memories that you have with Indian cricket, your biggest moments, sir, during your playing days?
Well, you talk about my biggest moment in cricket, getting selected for India.
Okay.
That was the biggest. But a day came when I was selected and I said, oh my God, now here I am. And I'm going to share the same dressing room as Patodi, or Farooq Engineer, or Sunil Gaskar, Vishwanath, Avid Ali, Venkatraman, Prasanna, Chandrasekhar, all elite cricketers. And that was the greatest moment in my life.
And what will be your biggest knock, sir? Double ton against Pakistan?
Abhishek, to be very frank, I would say there are three types of knock. Aggressive knock, which I played a lot of shots, was against West Indies in Chennai.
Okay.
Then I got run out at 80. That was a lot more aggressive. Talking about Jalandhar 100 against Pakistan I think it was more of patience.
Yeah.
More of patience, determination to stay there, because we had lost Sunil and early wickets.
Okay.
So had we lost wickets, then there was a chance that we would lose the test match. That was second. And third, it was different kind, was Jamaica, Sabayana Park. Just simple guts. Guts, concentration, determination, and will to stay. So there are three types of innings which I would choose.
Okay, sir. Life after cricket, after playing days, you have been India's coach twice, national selector also, part of cricket advisory committee. You have taken up almost every role with the BCCI. 50 years, more than 50 years, I should say, you have been involved with Indian cricket, sir. I mean, the biggest example of how you can give back to cricket.
Well, Abhishek, I always thought that, you know what, today, why I'm there on the screen with you is because of cricket. And if I don't give back to cricket, it's not fair. You know, all the experience, all that you have learned, or what all you have been taught, what all you have seen, you know, all that has to be given back to the youngsters, to cricket in general, to Indian cricket. And that's what I thought, and I kept getting involved in whatever came my way. And to be very frank, I enjoyed thoroughly every assignment that I got. I really enjoyed. I did a very sincere job, and that was it. I mean, it was, and still the journey continues. I'm still on the Apex Council.
Yeah,
of BCCI.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, some would say that BCCI can't look beyond Anshuman Gaikwad, player, coach, administrator, part of different committees.
Abhishek, I don't know. It's enviable position, which I was or what I am in. Anybody would feel that. Why him all the time? There are so many other cricketers in India who have played more cricket than him or may have more experience. Best to answer this question is BCCI officials, right from my playing days or whatever. But I would like to see here two things, Abhishek. That whatever job was entrusted to me, I have done it very sincerely and very successfully. If you see all my entire career or entire my lifestyle or my entire life that I've passed through 50 years in cricket actively without taking a break, and I've been attached at not only domestic level, not at local level, but national and international level. And the results, if you see, as a selector, you see the records. As a coach, you see the records. As administrator, you see the records. I've done commentary, I've done anchoring, and so on and so forth. And like you say, I was on a cricket advisory committee also. Then we appointed
Ravi Shastri was also
Ravi Shastri and women's coach. So all these things, what we did, produced good results. That's why probably, you know, BCCI thought that he's the right man.
That's right.
And second reason could be, I feel I was doing it free. I was not demanding any money. If I'm good, if you give me a job, I need so much money. Like today, in today's professionals, everybody's a professional. So they ask for a price. There's nothing wrong in it. Because you are doing a job and you should be paid for it.
Right.
Like when we were appointed on the cricket advisory committee to select the coach of the Indian team, Mr. Ravi Shastri, we selected. The rumors were that each one was paid 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs only to go out and select and come back, which was rubbish. It was rubbish. So, you know, these are the things. So maybe the others demanded, I did not demand, and I did a good job. So maybe because of that, I've been there.
But sir, which role did you like the most? You have been a commentator, player, coach, selector, administrator. Which role have you liked the most?
I think the coach's role was most difficult.
Okay.
Very challenging. And I would say why challenging is because, you know, when I became the coach, you know, all the cricketers in the Indian team, you talk about Tendulkar, Ganguly, Dravid, Lakshman, Anil Kumble, Srinath, Venkatesh Prasad, Saurav Ganguly, you know, all these guys, Azharuddin, all these guys had played a lot more cricket than I had played. So it's not easy to handle them or convince them or tell them. Like under 19 boys, you can always tell them, hey, shut up, sit here and do as I say. Don't try and be funny. Now here you can't do that. You have to get them into confidence and then convince them into your ideology. And it's not easy. And I felt it was so challenging, not only this, but planning wise, future of Indian cricket, future of Indian team, future of Indian cricketers. You know, all these things, I felt that 24 hours in a day should be your 48 hours, not 24 hours. If you're ready to work and you want to really work more and more, I feel it should be 48 hours and that could be less as well.
So how was your camaraderie with Saurav Ganguly, one of the biggest captains India has ever produced? And was he difficult to handle as captain?
No, he was fine. He was fine. And
Mm,
I had no problems with any of the players, though they had played a lot more cricket. But we were like a family.
mm,
And Saurav took over as a captain of Indian team when I was a coach.
yeah, that's what.
And he and me, we gelled very well.
Okay.
Very well. Of course, when we do planning, we discuss things. There's always a difference of
Yeah, that's
opinion.
part and parcel. Yeah.
But that's fine. Otherwise, generally, if you look at it, no. I respected him, he respected me.
Mm. So you have played with great cricketers, be it Sunil Gavaskar, Kapil Dev, Gandappa Vishwanath, who are the legends of the game, Venkat Raghavan, Bedi Sahab, Maninder Singh. Who, according to you, sir, I don't know if I'm forgetting some, who, according to you, was the greatest cricketer India has ever produced, according to you?
Well, Abhishek, difficult to really give
Yeah.
an answer on that. Because each one had a different role to play.
Hmm.
Like Sunil had a different role. He was a different batsman on a different wicket. Vishy was a different batsman on a difficult wicket.
Yeah.
Bishan, Chandra, Pras,
Hmm.
they were quality bowler, top class.
Yeah.
Given any wicket, they would be, devastating. I mean, they would run through any side.
Hmm.
So, looking at anybody, for that, you talk about all-rounders. I would put Kapil as number one. There's no question.
Okay. Hmm.
And in the world, for the simple reason that Kapil has played most of his cricket as pace bowler, as a fast bowler in India.
Yeah.
Whereas Richard Hadley, Ian Botham, you name all these guys, or West Indian fast bowlers, or English fast bowlers, or Australian fast bowlers have played on a helpful tracks,
Yeah.
helpful pitches,
Yeah.
where they have assistance from the wicket in case of swing, seam,
Right.
or bounce, or
Yeah.
pace, where Kapil didn't have. They had to slog it out.
Hmm.
And to go out there and play, I remember he was dropped only for one test match. And that too, because not any other reason, because he played a bad shot.
Yeah.
And we lost the match. Had we not lost the match, he would have been dropped.
Yeah.
But such a long career, keeping yourself fit and go on there, bowl and bat as well.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Credit to his
Only
fitness.
greats
Yeah.
can do it.
Sir, 2, 3 questions before we wind up. Coming to the current crop now, first of all, what is the biggest difference you see in cricket of your generation in 70s and 80s and now, 2021? What is the one biggest difference that you see?
I would say you cannot compare, number one.
Hmm.
And the biggest difference, I would say, equipment. The kind of equipment that they have now,
Yeah.
it gives you so much of confidence. When you look at the bats,
Yeah.
they are so professionally made, so scientifically made,
Yeah.
that you go and hit the ball effortlessly out of the ground.
Hmm.
Where,
You're hitting it on the bottom and it's going for a 6.
sorry?
Bottom part of the bat and it's going for a 6.
Yeah, and besides that, look at the protective gear.
Yeah.
Helmets, hat pad, arm guard, chest guard.
Yeah.
Now, if you stand just still and ask the bowlers to come hit you, you will not get hit, even if you don't react. So that safety is coming.
Yeah.
That gives you a lot more, confidence.
Yeah.
And then finally, money. Money is coming a
Biggest
lot,
reason,
which
yeah.
according to me is very, very good.
Hmm.
Because we had to work in the office and go at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and practice.
Yeah.
But we had to work because we had to earn our living. Like Sunil Gavaskar was working, I was working. We all were working. Vishwanath was working, Bishan Singh Bedi was working. All the cricketers were working. Today's cricketers don't have to work and they can make that as a career. Today cricket can be considered as a career for any youngster. So that's a big difference that has come in, and which is very good. Meaning, I feel the safety of players, that they can concentrate 100% on the game, development of the game, the skills, and hard work, rather than worrying about tomorrow's lunch or dinner.
Yeah, that's right. And so, are you happy with the way Indian cricket team is going now? Virat Kohli leading the side, Dhoni before him, and then Ganguly in 2000. And good thing is that India has produced a very, very good captains.
Yep, absolutely. Now listen, Abhishek, this is what we all have this kind of thinking that, he's a good captain, that's why team is winning. He's a good coach, that's why team is winning.
Hmm.
Sorry, I would like to put a stop there and say, well, the team is good.
Absolutely.
It's not an individual game. It's a team game. If the team does well, if the players do well, they play as a team and perform. Like 1983 World Cup, which we won, which were the big performances.
Yeah.
It's like Kapil 175 in one match.
Hmm.
When we won against West Indies, they were all 20s, 30s, 1
That's
wicket,
right.
2 wickets, 3 wickets. But they gelled as a team and they won the World Cup. Similarly, here also, I think it is a team effort which is keeping the coach and the captain going
Yeah.
as successful. And credit goes to them for keeping the team together and keeping them focused and getting them to perform at any time of, any period of time, which is great. I mean, that is the big difference. And also, let's not forget, since the time of Ganguly, I think the players, the captains have started getting aggressive. They retaliate against the opposition. Earlier, you should just take it lying down. But today, no, they retaliate. They are aggressive, which also puts the opposition on the back foot, which is a good thing. It's a very welcome thing, as long as you are in limit.
Maybe it's because of the confidence and the money that they're getting. Yeah.
No, I don't think money. See, I'll tell you, unless you play well, you will not get the money.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to keep performing.
Yeah.
If you don't perform, that money stops. The ads stop.
True that.
People will not even care for you or ask you for an autograph.
Yeah.
So first comes performance, then comes money. It follows.
Right.
It complements each other.
Last question, sir. What do you want to tell to the aspiring cricketers, the young cricketers, young generation who want to make big in cricket, maybe not cricket, any professional sport? What advice, one advice that you want to give them?
Well, I think today's world, sports has picked up very well. A lot of money is coming. Like I said earlier, you can make a career, but don't expect results overnight.
Yeah.
You're not going to, if you think that you're going to play IPL and play for India, no. You might play IPL and may play for India, but you won't last long. So it's a slow process, but a strong process. And that is what you need to do. So don't dream about becoming a big name overnight. You got to work hard and you'll surely achieve it.
Yeah, there's no shortcut to success, and it's not a slow process. It's a very, very strong process. That's what one advice, biggest advice coming from forming.
And no shortcut to experience either. You can't go and buy it in the shop.
Yeah,
you
that's
have
right.
to go through it.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, sir. Wonderful answers that you gave of all the questions. Thank you so much, sir. It was a great interview. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time.
Okay, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.